Xbox continues to expand out their future operating system with more apps that will give you access to pretty much anything that you want. More games are coming over to Game Pass. We got that reveal as to what Asus and Xbox were working on in addition to the ROG Allies. Hollow Knight finally gets a release date, and it's coming sooner than you think. Bungie gets a new CEO, and we have more information here about the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Now, before we do get into it, if you do enjoy this content, staying up to date on the world of gaming on a daily basis, I would appreciate it if you did hit the subscribe button and help this channel grow. If you enjoy the video, hit the like, and also share it around if you think others out there would enjoy this content. For now, let's get into the news. Xbox ROG Ally and Ally X have all been shown off at Gamescom this week. People have gotten hands on. We're seeing a lot more about this device that is dropping here on October 16th. So very, very soon where we will finally be able to jump in and play with this brand new Xbox handheld, which is going to have, I'd say, the beginnings of the future of where Xbox is bringing their entire ecosystem, their operating system, where they want to see things going, which is giving you access to everything, or at least as many things as possible that they can give you access to. Right now, it is giving you access to Xbox games on PC, Game Pass, and then other launchers. And I think eventually you'll be getting your console games as well on this handheld, but that still is in the works. But we have some more information here about just exactly what they are trying to bring over to this app. It is everything on Windows that you're going to get here, because it's basically going to be running a OS over Windows 11 and a seamless console-like experience, similar to what Steam does with SteamOS, but in Linux, of course. But we have this here saying Microsoft is bringing PC gaming apps and stores to its Xbox app on Windows. And if you go into your Xbox app on Windows, you can kind of already see that and test out a lot of the stuff here, like different launchers from different games. I have that in my current Xbox app on my PC. But it says here that they've started testing another handheld-friendly addition to its Xbox app, allowing PC gamers to quickly install and launch third-party apps like browsers, gaming utilities, and even rival storefronts. And a new My Apps feature is being tested in the Xbox app for Windows 11, and it looks like another way to avoid having to launch the main Microsoft Store or hunt for downloads online if you are using a gaming PC. Devin Dallowell, a product manager for Xbox Experience, explains this, saying, My App is a new tab within the Xbox PC apps library that allows players to locate, view, and download third-party applications and most commonly used storefronts. By consolidating gaming apps in one location, this feature supports the new aggregated gaming library, making it more straightforward to find, download, and launch games from multiple locations. I mean, this is a very smart move here that they're doing. They want to keep you within Xbox no matter what. Even if you're not playing a game via the Xbox store, they want your time spent within the Xbox OS and the Xbox ecosystem. That's why they're doing this, because the more time you spend there, the more likelihood, even if you have games in other places, you're going to spend money on Xbox itself and within their store, sign up to Game Pass, all of that stuff. It will eventually just translate to that if all of your gaming time is spent with Xbox, because you can literally access everything on the handheld, on PC, and then I think eventually to the consoles going into the next generation. And we talk about the whole multi-platform future that we are seeing right now, where PlayStation is putting games on Xbox. Xbox has been putting games on PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch, and more games are going to be going to the Nintendo Switch 2 in the future. Where they're taking this is that even if PlayStation, at least specifically, doesn't put their games on Xbox natively, it won't really matter for Xbox users. If they can access everything within this operating system, they're still going to get every single PlayStation game via Steam. So regardless, Xbox will still be the place where you're going to get the most access to the most amount of games in their console experiences, whether that is on the handheld or whether that is going to be the box that you plug into your TV. Again, this is the future that they have shown us, that they've talked about, and that now is finally coming to fruition. I feel like the Xbox ROG Ally is kicking this off. I would consider the ROG Ally kind of the next generation of Xbox in a way, as they are expanding the ecosystem out. And this will be the beginning where they continue to build upon it and give us more features. So I'm pretty excited about this. I've always thought about getting everything in one place. This is going to be the beginning of this, where I have all my games on Xbox that I have played a ton of. Then I'm going to get access to all the other launchers where I do have games there as well. So cool stuff there. The Xbox ROG Ally continues to impress, at least from what we've seen so far. The question is, will people want to spend that money specifically on the Ally X? Game Pass is continuously getting more games, and during the Gamescom broadcasts, more games were announced. And the second day, 3 more Game Pass titles were revealed that you'll be able to play on Xbox. We have Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which is coming September 17th, 2025. Hollow Knight Silksong, which finally got the announcement for it. This one is also coming here on September 4th, 2025. And then Wildkin, they have the announcement trailer here that is showing up here in 2026. We don't really have an official release date for that, but this is what this game is all about. A 1 to 4 player online multiplayer adventure here. You can see a kind of a retro style of game as you're going through creating your character, survival, crafting, building, all of that stuff. And then Hollow Knight, we know what that's all about. And then you have Deep Rock Galactic, which I think that game actually has a decent amount of fans to it. So 3 more games coming over to Xbox Game Pass. And obviously the big one there that we've been waiting a long time for is Hollow Knight Silksong. This is one that people have been losing their minds over. Anytime there was a showcase or anything, they're thinking, is Hollow Knight finally going to make its announcement? Are we finally going to get the release date? Because this has been in development for a very long time. And you think a game like this wouldn't need that long of development after its announcement to finally come out? Well, it's here, it's coming, and it's literally a few weeks away with the release date that they did give us here of September 4th, 2025. So people have been able to play it and everything at Gamescom, at least a demo of it. So that is cool there. They say during a special presentation on Thursday, Gamescom 2025, Team Cherry revealed that it will launch September 4th, 2025. And there's been a very, very long road to this point. And according to Bloomberg, based on interviews here with members of Team Cherry, the long development cycle mainly came down to the team working at their own pace. This is a very small team. I believe there's 2 or 3 people that were worked at least on the first one. And then they say it's grown slightly in the years since, but they say within the financial success of the first Hollow Knight, it actually has now sold over 15 million copies, meaning the studio didn't really have to stretch or worry because they made a lot of money off of that one. And they say that this means while burnout or creative mishaps are a common story in the gaming industry, it's a set of problems that Team Cherry has managed to avoid across this 7-year development cycle. So basically they just took their time, and they say, we did genuinely believe that was the case. There was a period of 2 or 3 years when I thought it was going to come out within a year. And this is when they're talking about how they announced it and then people were waiting, and then it just never actually released. And they say the most interesting thing now is what we can add to next. We got a plan. Admittedly, some of the plans for that stuff are kind of ambitious as well, but hopefully we can achieve some of it. And then meaning that there will be some DLC and expansions to this game. But September 4th, day 1, Xbox Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you won't have to worry about purchasing it. And then released everywhere else. This is a big game. It's a big game for September that has a ton of cool stuff that is coming out. And we finally have the release date, which I think people can now rest. We don't have to hope and pray for every single showcase that Hollow Knight Silksong is going to eventually show up. And it's a massive get here for Game Pass. I think people will subscribe just to play this game. 15 million copies sold for the first one. You can see how popular that is for a brand new indie game. This one, I think, will do just as good, if not better, simply because of the amount of hype that is leading up to it. We have Bungie here. We know there's been lots of issues at Bungie with their management. That's been one of the major things. And now they're pretty much getting completely folded into PlayStation. One of the things when Bungie was purchased that they were really happy about with the purchase, but they could kind of stay their own development studio and do what they want. They would just be under the PlayStation brand and get money from them. And that didn't work out to plan. They weren't meeting expectations. They weren't meeting the goals that were set out to them. And PlayStation has come in here and basically said, yeah, they're going to be under PlayStation Studios and they're going to be handled by them because they need to be able to hit all of the goals, especially on the games as a service and multiplayer side of things. And then we have all the issues with the CEOs and the management that did happen at Bungie. And now Pete Parsons is stepping down and there's going to be a brand new CEO here, with the replacement being named Justin Truman, now the CEO of Bungie. They say, we are proud to announce that Justin Truman will be stepping up as Bungie's new studio head as Pete Parsons retires from his position to pass the torch to a new generation of leaders. And what they also mention is that Truman joined Bungie in 2010 to work on Halo Reach as an engineer, spearheaded much of Destiny's 2 community efforts. In the game, he worked as the gameplay experience director, and it seems like the Bungie CEO change isn't going to delay Marathon or Destiny as far as we know. And that is another thing here. Marathon is still scheduled here to be coming out at the same time in 2026, as they did mention. Will people at the point that Marathon does come out forget about the whole art thing and the entire plagiarism side that we did see come out, and they had to apologize for that? The beta itself was also pretty underwhelming, that people ended up playing. They didn't really like it as much as I think they were expecting there, Bungie. So Marathon has an uphill battle right now. Will it be able to succeed? I think the only saving grace at this point is the community they fostered from Destiny and Destiny 2. Well, those gamers enjoy Marathon and want to continue to play because it's coming from a studio that they do enjoy. And by the time it does release in 2026, will people have forgotten about all of the controversies, at least a little bit? And will they have changed it enough in a way that they can really differentiate and show that they've moved on past that and made it right? We'll see. It doesn't look like they're going to be changing too much from the art perspective, because I just don't think they have enough time between now and the release date. But Marathon is going to be a very interesting game to track. I hope it does good. I'm not wishing for it to do bad at all, because Destiny, Bungie, they need it. PlayStation needs this more than anything. It's one of those games where a lot is resting on it because of all the other games as a service games that they have canceled. This is one that they were probably banking on from a studio that knows how to make these styles of games to do very, very good. Mortal Kombat, the Legacy Collection. This game is also coming out, and now we have the full lineup revealed for this game. So if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, there's a lot of stuff here. This Legacy Collection seemingly is getting better and better as we hear more that they are adding to it. So you have Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat 4, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, which I think that was one that was just recently announced, Mortal Kombat Special Forces, Mortal Kombat Advance, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, and Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition. No release date has been set, but we have seen leaks that it is going to be October 30th. That does kind of make sense because this game is coming out this year. You put it at the end of October. But lots of Mortal Kombat games to jump into. 11 games from the franchise ranging from 1992 to 2003. So if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, this is definitely a game you're going to want to keep your eye on and pick up. And there's the whole behind the scenes and museum stuff, I believe, is in this game as well. So if you're a fan of the series, you'll definitely want to check that out. Finally, Sony here. They have quietly sold their stake in Evo, which is the fighting game tournament. I think that's one of the coolest esports tournaments. I do love watching fighting games in tournament style with all the professionals because they're just so good at it. But Sony had a stake in Evo. They were a major player in this. They had purchased some of it, and now it looks like they're selling it off and going back to just sponsoring the tournament. They say SAE has sold its stake in Evo to Nodwin Gaming, a company backed by SAE's parent, Sony Group Corporation. SAE will become a new global sponsor of Evo through 2028 and will continue its commitment to the fighting game community through the PlayStation Tournaments platform and key products currently in development that appeal to fighting game players. Kadia, which became a global partner of Evo in 2024, announced today the company is investing in RTS, co-owner and operator of Evo, and will extend its global partnership with Evo through 2027. So they sold their stake in it, and they're just going to be going back to being a major sponsor for it. They even put out like a fight stick specifically, PlayStation did, and they were a major player here in terms of ownership with their stake. It is done now, and we'll see where they go from here. How much will they be involved? Of course, they're going to be sponsoring and stuff, but it seemed like over the last few years they had focused a lot more on it, and I wonder if that is going to change whatsoever. And finally, Asus and ROG and Xbox, they did announced another collaboration here. This was this thing that they said was very exciting that they were going to show off here at Gamescom. We finally know what it is. We kind of already knew that it was a controller based off of the picture that they did put out here, but this is the ROG Rakiri 2, which brings anti-drift sticks, pro features, and the PC Xbox crossover stuff here. So it has the Xbox button. You can see the design of it. It looks in the shape exactly like an Xbox controller. It has the share button and all of that. But here are some of the features that you'll be excited for with this type of controller. Anti-drift TMR joysticks, which are probably the best joysticks out there to make sure you don't get that stick drift, even better than the Hall effect joysticks. Ultra fast 1000 polling rates with PC wired and 2.4 gigahertz. Dual mode triggers, short micro switch, full TMR sensor, micro switch buttons and instant response, and 4 fully programmable rear buttons. So this is the controller. You can see it now exactly what they were teasing here. Not shocking that it is one, but these controllers, these third-party controllers that are coming out these days are very, very good. There's a lot of different companies that are making great ones, and Asus with this one does a good job as well. So cool stuff there. We don't really know anything else, I don't believe, in terms of pricing or when it is going to be coming out, but they did announce it, and I'm sure we will get more information soon as to exactly when you can pick up this one if you're interested in it. But on the video there, if you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.